Welcome to the final video report with Pastor Peter directly from Karachi. I have him on the line. Hello, Pastor Peter.
Hello, Megan. Hello, everybody at Grace TV.
How are you doing? It's been a couple days since we last heard from you. I know the final night has taken place. Please fill us in on the details.
Yes, well, it's been 3 nights of meetings since we last spoke, and how can I summarize it? Last night was a phenomenal breakthrough. It was a huge crowd, and it was just awesome miracles that happened one after the other that stirred the people. You know, people who had never walked, including one 6-year-old boy. His name happened to be Osama. His mother and father had named him after Osama bin Laden. Obviously, they were Muslims, as you can imagine. But the boy was born lame, had never walked in his life, and he was healed by Jesus yesterday. And, of course, the mother was now giving praise to Jesus. And these kind of testimonies, so the crowd rocketed tonight to an enormous size. I can say that it is certainly the biggest crowd we've ever seen in Pakistan, and we have had some big crowds as far back as I could see, till I couldn't see anymore. It was people, and so it was a phenomenal victory for the kingdom of God, and all the effort, all the money, all the things that we poured out to make this happen tonight. The gospel rang out crystal clear. And I can say this, Megan, that you've heard me preach on the last night on how I know Jesus is alive, and I don't think I've ever been able to present it more crystal clear, especially for our Muslim friends, of Jesus' redemption, his death and resurrection. And it was so rewarding. You could hear a pin drop on this field as I spoke quite at length.
Well, that's so good to hear, and I know to describe what when you ask the people to receive Jesus, describe that what that looked like, that mass of people.
Well, you know, we're trying to give books to everybody who receives Christ, and our partners are paying for that. Every book is gone, I'm afraid. I tried to get Johan to hold back 100 books. I wanted to have samples. I don't know if we succeeded with that. But every book is used up. We had to ration, giving one per family. So sometimes a family where 6 or 7 or even 10 people would receive Christ, they would get one of the follow-up books. So again, every penny is used to its maximum.
Well, I'm so glad that you commented on those salvation booklets, because like you said, so many partners have supported by giving of their finances towards the salvation booklets. And is there any other closing comments? What was the energy? I always know on the last night of the festival, the energy is strong. Was it the same there tonight?
Oh, the energy was enormous. And of course, there's a little bit of a chaotic feeling. People are there, and you're with a Muslim crowd. You understand, from my point of view, I had the sense of history that I may now be speaking to the largest number of Muslims that have ever been spoken to in this country about Jesus Christ. And it gives a great sense of responsibility. So we had, again, wonderful healings, but I want to, in this call, emphasize the clarity of the gospel. I explain details like I normally don't explain about how Jesus is the begotten of the Father. And many of the things that Muslims wrestle with, I was able to explain in the sermon. And I think it is a great breakthrough for the gospel here. And the people were so happy. Of course, we had to kind of find another escape route to get out. People wanted to just mob me wherever I went. So we managed to get home because we are moving on to meetings now in another country. So, yeah, you should have been there, Megan, but we'll have to have a conversation. You're usually the producer at these, and I sure missed not you being here. That much I can say. And I think you would have been safe, but I know you've been doing other work like this, so thank you.
Well, you know,
thank you to all the partners.
I always feel like I'm missing out on the action when I'm not there. But thank you so much, Pastor Peter, for your time. I know it's been a good 5 days. But any closing comments before we wrap this up?
Well, just to say, you know, we've had so many gospel festivals this year. In Indonesia have been great. Africa has been great. Haiti. This one was by far the biggest. An enormous crowd built. It didn't look the first night like it was going to be the biggest, about the incremental jumps in the attendance every night. And that, of course, propelled you to an enormous crowd in the end. The locals here are estimated numbers that I'm not going to condone, but I can say in a call, they are talking, they haven't told me about tonight's crowd, but in the previous nights, they were talking 100,000 to 200,000 people, and so I can only imagine what they're going to say tonight, but I feel maybe that's a little bit inflated, but tonight we were getting into those higher numbers, and it was a great privilege, and the help that God gave me.
Well, you know, we've been saying that this has been a historical festival for Pakistan and for World Impact Ministries, and, you know, we're back home here cheering you on, so I hope you felt our love and our support this week in Karachi. But thank you so much, Pastor Peter, for your time.
Well, thank you to everybody who has given, and we have still some backlog of bills that we're going to have to leave and pay over the next 10 days, and so I hope that people don't stop completely, because it was a step of faith, Megan, when we took on this challenge. It was a bit foolish, but a lot of money came in, and so I think we have most of it, but we're still going to need God to touch people's hearts over the next 10 days, so we've got everything taken care of. Thank you to everybody, and we look forward to see you real soon.
Well, that concludes our video report with Pastor Peter directly from Karachi. I trust you've enjoyed this video series. Once again, we want to say thank you for your love. Thank you for your support in being able to share Jesus with the beautiful people of Pakistan.